Now we're ready.
I'd like to call to order this 1,167th regular meeting of the Board of Library Trustees. Can I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Butler,
Here.
Trustee Easton,
Here.
Trustee Park,
Here.
Trustee Uno,
Here.
Trustee Wong. Here. Madam President, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Can you all join me in a salute to the flag? And at this time, I want to acknowledge that flags are still currently at half-staff in recognition of the passing of our 39th president, Jimmy Carter. So I just wanted to acknowledge that as we salute the flag this evening. Can I have an adoption of tonight's agenda?
I move to adopt the agenda.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, so next we have president's remarks and board meeting member comments. And let me just change the sizing on this. All PVLD branches will be closed on Monday, January 20th, in observation of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Just prior to this meeting, we were at a director's mid-year performance review meeting, which was a closed session. No action was taken at that meeting. On January 22nd at 1 p.m. in the Peninsula Center Library Purcell Meeting Room, the board will participate in a special meeting budget workshop. This is an open session. There was one more acknowledgement I wanted to make, and it's with respect to the fires in Southern California. And I join with the ALA and other libraries in recognizing that LAPL lost one of their libraries. And we all know how important libraries are in our communities. So I just wanted us to recognize that as well. Does anyone else have any comments tonight? Okay. Do we have any communications from the public?
No, Madam President.
Okay, so we've gotten through all that. Consent calendar. Does anyone want to remove anything from the consent calendar, or can I have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
I move to approve the consent calendar as it stands.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, there were no items removed, so we're now on to item 9. Upcoming Board of Library Trustee Conferences and Events from Director Addington.
Thank you very much, Madam President. There are just 2 events that I'd like to bring to the board's attention. The first is on Thursday, January 30th. This is the Economic Forecast Breakfast offered by the PV Chamber of Commerce. It's at 7:30 in the morning at the Terranea Resort. At this point in time, we do have 3 individuals confirmed to go, myself, Finance Manager Liu, and Trustee Wong. If anybody else is interested, please let Executive Assistant Bender know as soon as possible. The second is on Thursday, February 13th. This is the PV Peninsula Rotary Club's 44th Annual Educator of the Year celebration. This is an evening reception beginning at 5:45. It's at the Palos Verdes Golf Club. At this point in time, only myself is confirmed to go. If anybody else would like to go, please do reach out to Executive Assistant Bender as soon as possible, because this is one that tickets need to be purchased very quickly. And those are the only 2 events to bring to the board's attention at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Addington. So now we're on to the portion of the agenda that I'm sure you all are here for, and that is the recognition of PVLD employee service milestones. And Director Addington will start.
Well, thank you very much. There's no doubt that this event brings the most audience members to our board member. Typically, we look out on an empty sea of chairs. So first and foremost, I just want to say thank you very much to all of those who are joining us in person here tonight, and for those who are joining via Zoom. In today's day and age, it seems like we have the very, very good fortune of being able to offer both. The January board meeting is always a very special board meeting for us because it's one where we can acknowledge those employees who have reached milestone years here at PVLD. This year, we're going to be inviting the library managers to come forward to the podium and to read a short paragraph about their employees being recognized. We also invite the employees to come up and say a few words as well. And if they are via Zoom, we will open up your microphones, don't worry, and give you an opportunity to say something as well. We are going to recognize all of our employees, whether they are here or not, that are reaching those milestones. After our formal recognitions, we are going to break and have some cupcakes and punch. This is Executive Assistant Bender's very famous and delicious punch. So please, please stay around for photos and fellowship once we give out all of our certificates. In order to accommodate one of our employees being recognized this evening who had to close a branch library and is probably in her vehicle at this very moment, we're going to go slightly out of order from what was posted in the agenda. And our first recognized employee this evening will be Jae Hong. And I invite her supervisor, Evan Coates, to come to the podium.
First time speaking in front of the board, first time doing this award, and going first. Thank you, Jennifer. Today, we celebrate a milestone in Jay's journey as she marks 5 wonderful years with us as an on-call librarian. Jay has exemplified dedication and flexibility in every task, and their positive energy is truly inspiring. Her infectious enthusiasm brightens up our workspaces and ensures that every patron receives the best customer service possible, whether it's teens, adults, or our littles. During her tenure, Jay has made exceptional contributions. She has assisted with ordering and cataloging our Korean language collections and volunteered to support the library's mission and vision through her DEI work with Build. She is meticulous and passionate about our resources and has been witnessed walking patrons through the ebook registration process and never getting flustered or upset when they need to be shown it a couple of times. We are grateful for Jay's hard work and dedication. It is only through her and many other on-call librarians that we are able to successfully support Sunday service and all the other great programs that PVLD is known for. Thank you, Jay, for being such an essential part to our team. And here's to many more years together. Thank you so much.
Is Jay online?
Jay was not able to join us through Zoom.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Evan. And yes, thank you to Jay, fabulous on-call librarian. I have the very, very good fortune of being able to announce our second 5-year employee, Mr. Will Liu. That deserves applause. Amazing with numbers and people, possesses the ability to multitask several detailed budget spreadsheets and win a festive holiday sweater contest. To find somebody with these unique skills is like finding a needle in a haystack. And it is exactly what we managed to do with our finance manager, Mr. Will Liu. Will came to the library 5 years ago, and PVLD has become a better organization because of him. He brought a keen understanding of organizational budgeting and financial analysis that we were lacking, along with an easygoing and friendly demeanor that is somewhat unexpected in such an important department head. He cares deeply about doing his job well, which he absolutely does, and also about ensuring the staff understand their own budgets and financial situations and how they impact the district overall. He can explain a complex concept easily, which he has to do with me, and he takes the time to ensure that the staff and the board fully understand anything from the annual budget to a 457 plan implementation to travel expense forms and how to properly process a check request. Will is an engaged and participatory employee, a patient and generous supervisor, and a committed and incredibly supportive part of my leadership team. He is a sounding board for me as we discuss the district's financial position, and someone that I trust to have the best interests of PVLD at heart. I am very thankful to have him on my staff, and I look forward to many more amazing years. Thank you, Will, for all you do to make PVLD the very special place that it is. You got to come up here.
Thank you, Jennifer, for those nice words. I'm truly honored to receive this recognition. I'll keep this short, but I wanted to say that I'm grateful for being a part of this wonderful library and to be surrounded by such great colleagues and board members. Thank you for all your support, and looking forward to many more years here. Thank you.
The next employee that we'll be recognizing is Antonio Walker, a young reader's librarian, and I'd like to invite to the podium his supervisor, Marissa Purley. Come on up, Marissa.
Can everyone see me? All right. Antonio, it's hard to believe it's been 5 years since you've been at PVLD as an on-call librarian. When you first started here, it was clear you had a lot of potential, and it's wonderful to see how much you've grown into your role as librarian. So much so that you found a full-time librarian job at another library system. But you haven't forgotten PVLD because you still work for us on Sundays. One of your standout moments was a Friday fun program called Your Superhero Story, combining arts and crafts like mask making with your thoughtful presentation engaged the children. Your passion for superhero lore made the program even more exciting for them. Additionally, your contributions to modernizing our book list template and updating a graded book list for the Young Readers Department have helped keep our resources relevant. I also appreciate how your conversation with a PVLD colleague about a LAPL, Dia de Lucha Libre program inspired one of our librarians to create a similar Friday fun program. Dia de Lucha Libre is a special day about Mexican wrestling. Antonio, I've enjoyed mentoring and supporting you in your role as an on-call librarian. Thank you for your 5 years of service and hopefully many more. Thank you.
Thank you, Marissa, and thank you to Antonio. Our next 3 employees all share the same supervisor. So I'm going to call to the podium Circulation Manager Ketsi Diaz, and I'm going to let Ketsi introduce each and every one of them and read their paragraphs. So come on up here, Ketsi.
All right, circulation is the largest department in the library, so I do this many times every year. So the first person I'm introducing has been with us 5 years is Jason Hendricks. Jason, congratulations on 5 years with PVLD. As our resident science fiction and fantasy expert, Jason always has an exciting and otherworldly title, movie, or TV show to recommend. He is, in fact, right in the middle of the publishing process for his own fantasy novel. So another congratulations for that huge achievement. Jason is a very dependable, flexible, and hardworking page in the circulation department. He takes any job or project he has seriously and is always trying to improve. Jason has helped the district with some very large and tedious projects at PVLD, such as removing every single $1 sticker from every DVD and audiobook when we went fine-free, and he's currently in the process of putting new tape on labels to make them more readable for our patrons. Luckily, Jason enjoys these super detail-oriented projects that helps make the library run much more smoothly. I'm looking forward to many more years working with Jason. I'm especially looking forward to reading his upcoming novel. Thank you, Jason, and congratulations. And I'm sorry I didn't mention Jason's not here with us today, but he'll get his award, his certificate. All right, our next 5-year employee is Paige Shauna Mizubayashi. Shauna, congratulations on 5 years with PVLD. Shauna is a page in our circulation department and is always lending a helping hand to her teammates. Shauna is very hardworking, dependable, and very efficient. She takes on lots of shelving projects, such as shifting and stickering. In fact, she shifted and stickered almost the entire young adult fiction section and is currently doing an inventory of our entire young readers collection. What I also appreciate about Shauna is her commitment to taking on new challenges and her desire to learn more to improve her work. I'm excited for what the next years hold for Shauna, and I hope she is with us longer than the typical Love is Blind relationship, our favorite Netflix show to discuss together. Congratulations, Shauna, and I'm looking forward to many more years working with you. Do you want to say anything, Shauna? Yeah, did you want to say anything? Okay. All right, and our final 5-year employee in the circulation department is Barbara Oswald. Barbara, congratulations on 5 years with PVLD. Barbara is such a huge advocate for PVLD and libraries, both inside the library and out. She loves especially to work with children, helping them find what they are looking for and taking great care of the children's collections. She is so welcoming with patrons and staff, a joy to talk with, and a positive and enthusiastic force in circulation. Barbara is a giver and a helper, wanting and doing so much for everyone. She has so much knowledge and experience of our community and seems to know just about every single person that comes through our doors. Barbara, I'm looking forward to many more years working with you at PVLD. Thank you, Barbara, and congratulations.
I always was so happy to get hired at this library because I've been coming here. My daughter, who's here tonight, came in elementary school along with my son, and I brought my granddaughter, who's sitting on her lap, to Babies in the Library at all 3 branches. So I really feel like this is my library, and I'm just really, really happy to be working here. It's such a great place. And when I was growing up, there was a period in my life when my dad was changing jobs a lot, and we moved around a lot. And I was always the new kid at school, and you know how that goes, not well. But everywhere we went, there was a library. And that's what got me through some of those tough times, is that my mom If we finished our tours on Saturday, my mom would take us to the library. Of course, it was in the days when you could only take out 7 books. But when we finished them, she'd take us back again. So thank you for having me here. I love being here. It's a great place. And this is the world's best boss.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Ketsi. So we're going to go back to the top of our slideshow because our next 5-year employee is Aliza Curran-Schumann. And I'm going to invite our Deputy Director, Ryan Roy, to come up and stand in for her supervisor, Eve James. So Ryan?
Okay. Well, let me say it is an honor to stand in for Eve, and I'll be reading Eve's words about Aliza. Aliza has been a welcoming and dedicated presence at the Miralles Library for the past 5 years, creating a truly inviting space for everyone who walks through our doors. Her genuine passion for connecting with patrons fosters a sense of belonging that many look forward to. Especially for our students, Aliza's commitment, kindness, and patience have made Miralles a safe, friendly place to relax and grow. With her creativity, enthusiasm, and initiative, she consistently brings fresh ideas and leadership to her role, always striving to make the library better. Through her exceptional customer service and thoughtful engagement, Aliza has become an invaluable member of our library family, leaving a lasting and positive impact on everyone she meets. Let's celebrate with Aliza. Come get your... So I also have the honor of being the supervisor of our final 5-year milestone. And there we have our circulation manager, Ketsi Diaz, who you've already met. And today we are celebrating 5 continuous years for Ketsi Diaz. And I stress continuous because in April of this year, Ketsi will have a combined total of 12 years with PVLD. So I wanted to recognize that. And I feel like I need to run through her journey a little bit so that you can understand that she came to work here as a library page in 2012 and was promoted to a senior desk clerk at the branches, and she eventually moved on to be the assistant manager of the circulation department before she left in 2018 to take a role as a senior librarian for the Long Beach Public Library. But Ketsi returned to us in October of 2019 to be the circulation department manager. So over the past 5 years, Ketsi has established herself as a highly respected manager and a leader within the district. She has served on multiple teams and committees at various times, including the Build team, the social media team, the strategic initiatives team, and the PVLD Connections team. She also currently serves as a union steward, and in that capacity, she's part of the joint labor management team. Within the circulation department, she leads an engaged and dedicated staff with both positivity and empathy, and she has established herself as a trusted resource and a go-to manager for many staff members throughout the district. Ketsi has always placed a strong emphasis on consistency and customer service, and PVLD is certainly a better place because of her character and her commitment. So please join me in congratulating Ketsi on her most recent 5 years at PVLD.
I'll just say that I was here for a long time, and then I left, and then quickly came back after about a year. But because of the people that I work with here and the team that I have in my department, you guys are all just wonderful. You make it very easy to want to work here and come back, and I really appreciate it. And I also have a great boss. So thank you.
Well, Ketsi, be prepared to come right back up here. We're moving on now. We had no 10 years to acknowledge this year, so we're moving on to 15. And our 15-year recognition will be for Lubna Mutalib, who is a clerk in circulation. So I invite again to the podium, Ketsi Diaz, the circulation manager.
All right, so Lubna, congratulations on 15 years with PVLD. When I returned to PVLD in 2019, Lubna was just celebrating her 10 years as a desk clerk, and I was so glad to have her experience by my side as I restarted my own journey at PVLD. Now here we are at her 15 years, and I still rely on Lubna's many years of experience, her expert knowledge of the community. You may or may not know this, but she is the unofficial mayor of the peninsula, at least in circulation, and her positive, humorous, and welcoming outlook on her work here and with our patrons. I often hear her say to patrons, "So nice to see you again," and they respond back in the same joyful manner. I'm grateful to have you for such a long time as part of the circulation team, and I'm looking forward to many more years with you. Thank you, Lubna, for 15 years with PVLD.
Thank you, Ketsi. We're now moving on to our 20-year recognitions. We actually have 3 employees that are being recognized for 20 years. And the first is Marissa Purley, our Young Readers Assistant Manager. I'd like to invite her supervisor, Laura Henry, to the podium.
We were just saying yesterday, we can't believe it's been 20 years. So it's been 20 great years because Marissa is an energetic, knowledgeable, and creative dynamo. As the Young Readers Assistant Manager and the district's early childhood expert, she has created exciting and innovative new activities and programs for our early learners and also their parents and caregivers. She was instrumental in planning and bringing back story time and programs after COVID and beyond. Marissa is also a leader in young readers. She's a great coach and mentor to on-call librarians and to library school students too. She also takes the lead role in identifying community partners and working out exciting new ideas with them. Most recently, working with the Land Conservancy on their student naturalist program. Marissa is dedicated to making sure everyone feels welcome in the library and knows all about what we have to offer. And even our littlest visitors just feel special when they talk with her. She has been the heart of the Young Readers Department for 20 years now, and we feel fortunate to work with her every day. Thank you, Marissa, for 20 great years.
Oh, Laura, would you like to stay up here? Okay. I just want to say that, since moving from the branches to the Peninsula Center Library, that you've been a wonderful boss. Thank you. And also to my former boss, Cindy Miller. Please stand up. She was she was the branch manager at the Mirror West and the Malaga Cove Libraries, and you were also a wonderful boss too. So thanks to my 2 bosses. Okay.
Yeah, shout out Cindy. Our next 2 20-year employee recognitions come from the facilities department. And I'd like to invite their manager, Daniel Gutierrez, up to the podium. And Daniel, I'll let you introduce your 2 employees.
Today, we are here to celebrate an incredible milestone, 20 years of dedicated service. I am truly honored to be standing here today recognizing our facilities lead, Jose Leyva, for 2 decades of outstanding contributions to our district and facilities team. Over the past 20 years, Jose has played a pivotal role in making sure our workplace remains functional, safe, and welcoming. It takes a special kind of dedication and commitment to be a leader of a team that touches every aspect of the environment we work in, and Jose has shown that every day. What stands out most is the genuine care and for the well-being of everyone on our team and in this organization. Jose, your loyalty and passion for the work you do have not only made you an irreplaceable part of the facilities department, but a trusted friend and mentor to so many of our team. On behalf of the district, thank you for your dedication and your hard work. It is employees like you that help shape the culture and set the standard for what it means to be a part of this organization. Congratulations, Jose. Thank you for 20 years of service. I'm fortunate enough to have 2 of these today. Larry Ray is celebrating 20 years of service as well. It is not just the length of time that stands out, but the immense impact that Larry has had on this organization and specifically on the way we maintain our facilities. Throughout the past 2 decades, Larry has exemplified what it means to be committed to excellence. Since the day I arrived, he has been the go-to person for solving the most intricate issues that often go unnoticed but are critical to our everyday operations. Whether it is maintaining building systems, handling emergency repairs, or ensuring that environment is safe and functional, Larry has done it all with skill and dedication. A particularly remarkable aspect of Larry's journey with us is his role as a teacher and mentor. In an environment that is constantly evolving, where new technologies and procedures emerge, Larry has gone above and beyond in sharing knowledge with colleagues and junior team members. Larry, thank you for your tireless dedication, your technical expertise, and most importantly, for being an outstanding teacher and role model for our team. Congratulations on 20 years of service.
Thank you, Daniel. And our final employee this evening. I remember sharing a cubicle with this young man and laughing about things that were probably wholly inappropriate to talk about here at a board meeting. But I'm not the one recognizing him. Today we recognize for 25 years of service, Dennis Piotrowski, and I welcome to the podium his manager, Letty Polizzi.
So Dennis Petrowski has worked for PVLD for 25 years, so many of you have worked with him longer than I have. But during this time, he has been part of the adult services team and has seen this department change throughout the years. He has been an essential member of the team and has helped grow our services to the community. Dennis has grown in his responsibilities in the years I have been his supervisor by taking on the leadership role of overseeing the computer docents. These are high school students that require volunteer hours for school. They volunteer as computer assistants to help adults use our public computers. Dennis maintains communication with the teens and serves as a mentor for them as well. Dennis provides quarterly database workshops to adults who would like to learn more how to use our online resources. He leads the monthly passive program of board games for adults, providing a welcoming environment for those who want to socialize and be part of their community by playing board games together. He has been a valuable member of this organization by also advocating for workers as a union steward. As the longest serving employee at PVLD, I would like to congratulate Dennis on his successful time at the Adult Services Librarian. Congratulations, Dennis.
brief, Jennifer.
25 minutes, right?
Thanks, Letty, for those very nice words. I really appreciate it. And those were good times back in those early 2000s, Jennifer. But I'd just like to briefly say a few things on my 25th work anniversary. I can't believe that the years and now the decades have flown by so fast. Eric Adams, our digital services librarian, showed me a spreadsheet that shows that I'm now the longest serving employee. I think the only remaining staff member hired in the 1990s. So I've worked here for parts of 4 decades. It's like, oh, but I don't know if I'll be here for a 5th. Who knows? But anyways, a lot has happened during my time here. The tech bubble crash of 2000, 9/11, the financial crisis of 2008, of course, the pandemic in 2020. But through it all, PVLD has adapted and remained a great place to work. I guess this is why there's so many long-term employees here, as we've seen tonight, like the staff who started it just a year after me, who will be honored next year. And with the younger staff, it's nice to know that libraries remain very relevant, especially, and I would argue even more so, with the growth of AI. But a big thank you to Letty and the Adult Services Department, to Jennifer, Ryan, and your team, to President Uno and the Board of Library Trustees, and thank you for all your support. I can honestly say this is why our patrons and the community love this library, which all the years I hear all the time from all the years working on a reference desk. And finally, thanks to my wife, Mary Frances, who wanted to be here, but she's chair of the Torrance Historic Preservation Commission meeting tonight, and she couldn't attend. And I'm also on the Torrance Library Commission, so I guess I just can't get enough of library. And my loyalties with PVLD. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dennis. And thank you to all of you. Thank you for everything that you do to make this agency an agency that I think we all love working at. I, like so many, worked here for 13 years, and then I left and then came back because it's just that kind of a place. Thank you all. We're going to take a break. We're going to take some photos. We're going to have some cupcakes, so don't go anywhere. And the refreshments are starting right now.
And
So
quickly,
thank you, Ar.
Before you break, I just wanted to add the board's appreciation for your work and your dedication to the district. It's because of you the district is what it is, and we truly appreciate that. So thank you.
Excellent. So I think,
While we go into
I
break.
don't think we have to announce a recess, so.
No.
All right. Oops. We're going to take a quick recess, and then we'll. Yeah.
Is that what you're gonna do?
Okay, so we are rejoining the meeting, and we are at item number 11, which is an update from our facilities manager, Gutierrez.
Hello, good evening. We'll start with the Deep Valley Terrace and entryway. We did open it up to a second round of public bidding. We put it out to 10 contractors, and of that, we had 3 respond and 2 show up for our job walk. And those proposals are actually due tomorrow evening. So we'll be able to vet through some over the next week, and we hope to be able to first, actually receive some, and second, have more further conversations with recommendations for contractors as we move forward to our board and the Friends of the Library Board as well. Some of the other things that my crew have been up to is actually today they finished the stripping and re-waxing of the floor here in the community room. So it's got a beautiful sheen to it, and they're very proud of that. We also have put out the final bid notice for the second floor reorganization for the cubicles for the staff area. I put a due date of the 14th of February, Valentine's Day, and from there we will probably go over the proposals with the committee and let those companies possibly do a presentation to the committee and maybe even a field trip to have a look at what we are talking about replacing the cubicles with. And so we can go under contract and finish the fine tuning of the design without causing the district, additional funds with that. So those are a few of the bigger projects that we've got going on right now. They're kind of wrapping up. We did get under contract and we are moving forward with replacing the gutters over at Malaga Cove as well. We were under the budget that we put able to replace them with copper gutters. So that should be a 50 to 60 year solution. So we're pretty excited about that. That should be happening between the 31st and the 14th of this upcoming month. So, yep, that's some of the things that we got going on right now. Have any questions?
What kind of gutters were they for?
They were steel gutters that had paint on them and were treated. In certain sections, they have rotted all the way through because they do catch a lot of pine needles.
Yeah.
And so with that catching of the pine needles, it just kind of added to the deterioration of them. So the new gutters are actually going to be about 1 inch wider than the old ones are because of the pitch of the roof. The old ones weren't necessarily, we learned more things over time, and so they weren't necessarily the size that they should be according to the pitch of the roof. And we're also getting covered grates to go on top of them to help catch all of the leaves and pine needles from actually sitting in the gutter.
Kind of like the leaf guard.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
No problems about it turning green on us?
No, they will turn green.
Okay.
Yes, they will. But they'll have the longevity involved, and
Well,
we could
I
also paint them if we need to
I
as
guess what I'm
well.
really worried about is transference, because sometimes I've seen, the green from the copper transfer because it's in the water.
Yeah, on the floor, and everywhere that the spouts hit, they're either into a drain or into a garden. So we don't really need to worry about it staining like the PV stone walkways or anything like that up there.
Are there any other questions?
I just have one question. On the, you're talking about pine needles and things like that.
Yes.
What's our goal in terms of keeping the roof at Malaga Cove clean of that, especially given the fire issues?
We've been attacking it about every 3 months because we get a slight buildup of about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch in different areas about every 3 months. So it is on our schedule as a team to go forth and clear those out. I was out there today and just had a conversation with my lead and said we need to get back up there and clear them out because there's starting to get enough of deposit that you can notice that there's pine needles that are up there. But it's something that we do routinely every few months, especially on that west side where the big pine tree is. We also do it on the patio side. because the jacaranda tree also drops a lot of leaves and the flowers as well. So those are the main areas that we're really concerned about to keep on clearing those out.
How about fire abatement over at Miralest or the hill there?
So we have a beautiful fire break of our driveway from the homes on the other side, which we're very lucky about. And we also behind the hill, in between the homes, that is something that we do keep watered, that is landscaped, and we keep watered, so that is considered a fire break as well. And then we do have a fire break with another driveway between the intermediate school and our library.
So you feel we're in as good a shape as we can be, given where we are?
Without soaking the hill, yes. But that's something that, we have contingency if need be, we can turn on the irrigation system on the hill to water the plants, which will wet the substrate, which will help. But they are drought-tolerant plants that is on the hill, and those are watered periodically, so it is not just dry brush. It is foliage that would take more to ignite than just a single ember.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem.
Next to item 12, the annual review of policy number 7035.0, investment policy of the Policies and Procedures Manual, with an update from Finance Manager Lou.
Hi, everyone, again. Every January, we look at the policy number 7035 to see if there's any updates. This year, we reviewed it, and I did not have any changes at this time. Next week, on Wednesday, we'll have our budget workshop, and we'll go into a little bit more discussion about not only the budget, but also the pension status and recommended changes to the pension funding policy, which we'll bring forward at an upcoming board meeting.
But that's a different policy.
That is a different policy.
This one you had no changes
I had no
on.
policy changes to 7035.
All right, are there any questions about that?
So the only textual or material change is this edition of reviewed in today's date, right?
That's correct.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so can I have a motion to approve that correction or change?
I move to approve the correction,
All in favor? Oh, go ahead.
or I move to,
Yeah, I think I would clarify that to really, it's just an addition. We're not correcting anything in the policy. It's just the addition of a reviewed date.
I move to approve the addition of a review date.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you for that clarification.
Thank you.
Okay, next, item 13, board meeting locations and dates for 2025. Director Addington?
Thank you, Madam President. At our last board meeting, we talked about the possibility of going out to the Miralest and Malaga Cove branches for at least one of our board meetings during the year. I know there's a lot of debate about whether we should do that because it is a little more difficult for the facilities team to set up a board meeting. The rooms are not quite as big. They don't have quite the infrastructure already there. But I personally think that it is meaningful to the staff and to the community to show effort. So we reached out to Eve James, the branch manager of the Miralest and Malaga Cove branches, and talked to her about what dates would be the best. And our suggestion at this point in time would be to have the May 15th board meeting at the Malaga Cove Library Community Room and the July 17th board meeting at the Miralest Library on the main floor. Even if the board approves these dates, obviously should something happen, or if we were to go dark in July, for example, or if something at the branches were to require us to change the dates, we could always do that later and notice that to the community. But I think there is value in letting the branches know that we will, in fact, be visiting them And these are the dates that we suggest with input from the branch manager. Happy to take any questions.
Well, aren't we going to review the schedule for this year at this meeting? In other words, decide whether we're going to go dark in 1 month this year?
It's not an agenda item. We typically don't really decide that until a little bit later in the year based on what's happening. If the board would like to discuss that, we could put it on as a formal agenda item for March. But usually it's a little bit later in the year that we actually decide we are formally going dark in 1 month or the other. We have gone dark in July, but we've also gone all the way through without going dark a single month. So it was our opinion to go ahead and schedule it, and then if something came up, we certainly could move it, but we've also gone dark in August, so.
And I would agree with that, especially given what our calendar looks like and what we're trying to accomplish.
We just don't know.
Right. Okay. So when we get to putting items requested for the next meeting, we can bring that up again. Excuse me. Okay.
Madam President, if the board is in favor of doing these two off-site dates, though, staff would ask for a motion to approve those so that we can start promoting them to the branches.
Okay. So do I have a motion to approve those dates as of now? Yes.
We're approving the board meeting schedule for the entire calendar year.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So do I have a motion to approve the calendar?
I move that we approve the calendar.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now District Director's monthly report from Director Addington.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Trustees should have a written report from me. A lot of stuff was going on in December. December was a busy month. I won't go through every single one of them, but I will highlight that I sort of above the fold highlighted the Rolling Hills Estates Annual Holiday Parade of Lights. The library again had a float and we had a really good time participating in that event. We've really gotten that float making down. I think we can, we're confident that we'll have a float every year, so we're very happy about that. Also wanted to express my thanks to the trustees who were able to join us in person and in spirit, so thank you all very much for that. This year, we also welcomed a lot of our book sale volunteers and their friends and family on the float, so it was wonderful to incorporate them as well. We almost won an award, but not quite, so, but I can't help but mention it, right? A lot of really wonderful programs, a lot of great services to the community. I won't go over too much more. Please feel free to ask me any questions that you might have. But I would like to call out our monthly Pay It Forward Award winner. Every month, the staff award another staff member a recognition. And in December, the recognition went to our very own Human Resources Manager, Sarah Uden Armstrong. Very well deserved, as she does so much wonderful work for each and every one of us. And my final comment will be just to share that the strategic planning team is in the data gathering aspect of our new strategic planning process. And we did put out a community survey. It was at the beginning of January, but I want to highlight it here because I did highlight it in my December report. We've already gotten almost 500 responses, and I look forward to more. We're really getting it out there to people and trying to promote it as much as we can. So looking forward to seeing kind of what the community has to say and ultimately having that as part of our our data as we move forward in the strategic planning process. So just wanted to call that out for anybody listening later, that it is on our website and also promoted in print with a QR code. So many places to access that data and give us your feedback on our hopefully good work.
And that survey will remain on the website.
It's only up for the entire of January. So it's a month-long survey to kind of get data right now as we look at that in relation to all of our other statistics and community conversations we'll have with the Peninsula Friends of the Library, with the library board itself. We've had some conversations with staff in relation to our EDI initiatives, and we'll bring all that together and then ultimately have a conversation with the board about our strategic plan.
My recollection is that there was always a survey on the website, and
Yes.
will that remain? But
That
for
will-
purposes
Yes,
of,
because we have a library satisfaction survey that
Okay,
stays on there
satisfaction
year-round.
survey.
Yes, and so this is kind of just our strategic planning survey, which looks a little different from that one, but that one will return
Remain.
to the
Okay.
website, yeah.
thank you.
Thank you for that clarification. That's all I have to share at this time, but happy to answer any questions that the board may have.
Okay, great, thank you. Are there any additional questions about the director's report? Okay, so we'll move on to the Community Relations Committee report from Vice President Butler.
After the very busy holiday season, there's nothing new to report, unfortunately, Madam President, that's all.
Okay, thank you. Peninsula Friends of the Library Liaison Report. Trustee Park, would you like to give a report?
No, I think we're sort of up to date with that, and, they do have a new president, Susan Paul, and I'm not sure if they've named a vice president yet.
I'm not sure.
I don't think they have. And we just hope that the work that Director Addington and Deputy Director Roy are doing with two of their people will result in a updated understanding between the two organizations.
Okay, thank you. Next, Government Relations Liaison Report from Trustee Easton.
I don't have anything to report this month. As Trustee Butler said, after a busy holiday season, I'm not sure. There wasn't anything remaining from last year, and I haven't seen anything new.
Okay, thank you. So the next item is the appointment of board committees for 2025. And I will say that I've either spoken to people or received emails, and that will be the basis for the appointments that I am making. Community Relations Committee will remain with Vice President Butler. Government Relations Liaison will remain with Trustee Easton. And Peninsula Friends of the Library Liaison, we're returning to a single liaison, and I will be fulfilling that role this year, given the opportunities that we have, and I was a part of some of the work that was started already. No, do we need to do anything else in relation to that?
No, Madam President, it's just an announcement.
Okay. If you were not named as a liaison, I've either spoken with individuals about being on call for if we need support on these committees or, in these roles. Or if I've not spoken to you, we would still appreciate you being on call if we need additional help to make sure that we have the coverage that we need. Are there any questions or comments?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, so items for future agendas, and we'll start with Director Addington.
Thank you very much, ma'am. As was mentioned earlier by Finance Manager Lou, we are having a budget workshop next week, January 22nd. That will inform our mid-year budget, which will be at the February meeting. We will also be doing a year-end statistical review. This is typically where Deputy Director Roy brings really all the data from 2024 and some graphics to share with the board about that. We have also rescheduled the quarterly Peninsula Friends of the Library report from January to February. So we will be welcoming, ideally, Susan Paul, the president of the Friends, to give a quarterly report. And there's also just a note, there's to start the director review conversation. So I will be talking to President Uno about presenting something in relation to the director's compensation and performance. That'll be an agenda item. And those are all the formal ones as of right now.
Okay. I did have one that we review policy, and it's the one related to the committee assignments.
80/20. Excuse me.
It's just in my email, and I was looking at it over and over, but the one that was attached to the.
Is it 8040.2?
Yes.
Oh, no, that's community relations.
Yes.
Is that the one? Okay. 8040.2?
Yes, and that was one that Vice President Butler had
Mentioned
brought up.
before.
Right, and so we wanted to bring that for review.
Okay.
Are there any other items people would like to see on our upcoming agenda?
I'll also note that depending on the results of the second round of the RFP for the terrace and entryway project, we will either have some sort of a proposal to bring forward. It's a possibility that we call a special meeting if there's some time crunch in that, but if not, we would bring that forward as well.
Okay.
I'm wondering if you would have any sort of preliminary data from the community survey, or as it relates to the compiling of data that you're doing for the strategic plan, sort of where we are, or if that's scheduled for another month.
Yeah, I can speak to that. We've taken a first glance at just the data that's come through so far, the 500 or so survey results, which is almost double what we got last time we went through the strategic plan process. And we're still getting more, and we still have more marketing planned for getting that out there. So I think we're going to have a really significant response this cycle as opposed to the last time. Last time we checked, we didn't go through every single little cell of information, but we did like to glance at the overall satisfaction of the community, which was, last time we checked, about 8.5 out of 10, which is pretty good for us. I mean, we were really excited to see that. And it's ever changing, so it could go up, but it's been very steady between about 8.5 and 9 as we've been kind of checking out through it. So we're thrilled about that. But there's a lot of information cells that export to basically a spreadsheet, and we're really waiting until it closes out at the end of the month. I think on the 31st is a Friday in January. So we'll close it out, export the data, clean up a nice spreadsheet, and have that to give a nice summary to the board when we have a special meeting for strategic planning with the board. So we
Okay,
should
so
have
is that-
a good breakdown of that data by the time we meet with the board for our strategic planning. And so our hope was that when we did our board meeting, we could have that data to kind of look at. We'd have a breakdown of it, and then as we think about how we go forward, some of the questions that we're asking the community and our staff, and we'll be asking the board, is just how our current mission and vision resonate, with the staff, with the community. And then we'll be asking the same question of the board, but we'll also have that extra insight of how the other groups feel that the mission and vision resonates. So I think by the time that we have that meeting, we'll have a lot more information collectively to, I guess, guide some of our decisions.
Right. And we do not have that meeting scheduled just as yet, Rosa. We are kind of looking at the calendar and, you know, it's a bit of a flow chart. So it was like the survey, then we've reached out to the friends to set a date for them. We've done some staff conversations. We're anticipating meeting with the board maybe in March. And that would be a special meeting to talk about strategic planning just all by itself.
Right.
And at that point, we would be able to share all the data that we've gathered. But we can certainly start the process as early as possible of scheduling that meeting so that it gets on everybody's calendars. We want to give ourselves a couple of hours to talk, you know,
Yes.
seriously about strategic planning and analyze the data that we've gotten. So it'll probably be a mid-morning, afternoon meeting where we can kind of devote some time to it. But we will certainly get on scheduling that right away.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Do we have any other items that we would like to see agendized? Okay. All right. Can I get a motion to adjourn this meeting?
We adjourn?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.